Right, for question C, we have a monochromatic light of wavelength 480 nanometer. So it is used in a Young's double slit experiment lah. Two slit ni maksudnya double. So these two slits are separated by a distance of 1.5 millimeter, and then it is 1.5 meter away from the screen. So based on the text itself, you should be able to extract the information correctly lah. Kiranya kamu kena hafal apa simbol setiap satu ni. So we know that wavelength is lambda, so that is just 480 nano negative 9 meter. Then dia bagi tahu the slits ni separated by a distance of 1.5, itu adalah the separation of the slit separation. Okay, so sekarang we have to put it in meter, so milli is negative 3. And then dia bagi tahu slit ni 1.5 meter away from the screen, that is capital D, so 1.5 meter. So sekarang ni dia tanya, what is the distance of the fifth dark fringe from the center maximum? So if you refer to your formula sheet, we have three formulas untuk si double slit. Okay, so the first three that you see, yang YY ni, YY delta Y, these three memang valid untuk double slit experiment saja. So for this one, the difference between these two and one of this is this one, the first two is always measured from the center. So for example, this would be the center. Contohnya ini the center kan. So if you look at the definition, distance ini mesti dari center to a certain order number of bright fringe. Kalau tengok yang ni pun dari center juga. So contohnya ini kita punya center, so it is always measured from the center to a certain order number. Okay, difference dengan delta Y ni. Delta Y ni adalah fringe separation. So it doesn't have to be from the center, it just have to be consecutive fringe. Contohnya kalau dia bright, dia mesti dengan bright. So bright to bright, ini kita panggil sebagai delta Y, which is the separation between the fringe lah, fringe separation. Okay, so yang ini sekarang ni soalan mention dia mesti dari center. So obviously it should be Y lah, Y. Cuma yang kita kena tahu ni, will it be dark or bright? So this one is dark fringe. So kalau kita refer, the first one will be bright, the second one will be dark. Okay, sama juga dengan single slit. Kalau kamu mau hafal, bright, dark, except, dia terbalik dengan apa nama dia ni? Single slit dia akan start dengan dark and then dia bright. Okay, kalau double slit dia bright and dark. Gitu cara saya hafal lah kalau saya. Okay, so sekarang ni this one is asking on dark fringe, so that should be YM M plus half lambda D over lowercase d. So ini yang dark fringe is this one lah. Okay, dark fringe, so it's this one. So sekarang ni kita just substitute the values, but you have to remember untuk double slit experiment for dark fringe you have to minus 1. Okay, sebab dimension sini dia adalah the fifth dark fringe, so the order number should equal to 4. Okay, kita tolak satu lah, fifth ni, so minus 1, so kita tahu order number dia mesti 4. So substitute sini 4 tambah half 480 nano, and then this one is 1.5 divide by 1.5 negative 3. So kita akan dapat the distance for the fifth dark fringe from the center will be 2.16 negative 3 meter. Kita dapat jawapan di sini. So macam mana dia bagi markah? Dia bagi dari sini substitution and final answer with the correct unit 1 mark. So from here you will get 2 marks lah. Okay. And if we look at the second question, dia minta fringe separation. Okay, so fringe separation tu apa? Itu adalah delta Y. So sekarang ni kalau kita refer formula, so sekarang ni itulah yang penting, kamu kena tahu definition of each symbol. So you know the formula, but if you don't know what's the meaning behind each of the symbol, so salah kamu jawabkan. So delta Y di sini adalah fringe separation. So obviously we are gonna use this equation lah. So sekarang yang ini delta Y is equal to lambda D over lowercase d. So yang ini apa kita buat? Kita substitute je lah. 480 20 times 10 negative 9. So make sure to substitute tu jangan kasi tinggal apa-apa pun. Sebab markah substitution kamu kena substitute correctly baru dapat full mark lah. Okay, so yang ini kamu akan dapat fringe separation dia 4.8 times 10 to the power of negative 4 meter. So markah dia dari sini substitution. If you substitute it correctly, you get full mark. And then final answer with the correct unit 1 mark lah. Alright, so that is question Roman 2. For question Roman 3 pula, sekarang ni ada satu lagi cahaya. So this light ni wavelength dia 600 nanometer. So it is added to the experiment. So sekarang we have to determine the distance dari center of maximum when the bright fringe are overlap. Okay, first overlap. So basically every time a question mention dorang ni overlap, dia akan ada something yang equal. Something tu adalah for this case dia bagi tahu distance dari center of maximum dia tu equal. So bright fringe and then they equal. Okay, so we have two lights. I would call the light number 1 is A. So the first light was 480 nanometer. And then the second light that's added to the experiment is 600 nanometer. So sekarang ni kita ada dua cahaya. And then ada satu situation ni, ada satu certain order number dia ni yang membuatkan dorang overlap. So when it overlaps, apa yang equal is the distance from the central maximum. Meaning Y untuk light A ni akan equal untuk light B. Okay, the situation is bright fringe. Okay, situation dia adalah bright fringe. So obviously the formula kita mesti guna untuk bright fringe. Yang inilah M lambda D lowercase d. So sekarang ni we know that it will be equal, but we do not know the value. Sebab kita tahu, okay, kalau begitu kita just perlu cari nilai Y. But the problem is we do not have the value of M. Order number ke berapa yang dorang equal. So itu yang kita perlu cari. So macam mana kita mau cari? Kita akan cari based on the concept of ratio. Okay, so sekarang kita tahu bila dorang overlap tu dorang akan equal. Distance dorang ni akan equal. So kita substitute lah. M untuk A, lambda untuk A, D ni akan equal lah. So dorang tidak ada perubahan. Yang ini B, D over D. Okay, so these two will be constant. Sebab dalam soalan dia tidak mention dia ada ubah screen, dia tidak mention dia ubah size of the slit. So it will be constant. So since that is a constant, we can actually cancel this. So apa yang tinggal? Yang tinggal adalah MA lambda A, MB lambda B. So sekarang ni kita boleh cari the ratio between this. So it will be B over A. Okay, so sekarang kita substitute je lah. 600 nanometer bahagi dengan 450 nanometer. Oh, sorry, 480 nanometer. Oops, that's too big. Okay, so for this one, sorry, I do need to calculate this. Just double checking the answer scheme. So this one's gonna be equal to 5 over 4 lah. Obviously dorang tiada unit because it is a ratio. Lagipun yang ini ni akan cancel out. So it's gonna be 5 over 4. Basically what this value is telling us is these two will only overlap when MA is equal to 5 and when MP is equal to 4. Okay, so this will be their first overlap. Basically, dorang akan overlap lagi lah. Okay, dorang basically akan overlap. The next overlap is when MA is equal to 10, and then MB is equal to 9. Macam tu. Okay, so just tapi yang the first overlap is basically this order number lah. Tapi kamu ignore yang ini. Kamu just kena tahu the order number yang membuatkan dorang overlap adalah bila MA equal to 5, MB equal to 4. So sekarang ni kita boleh pilih salah satu lah. You want to substitute it into the first light or the second light. So I'm just gonna do the first light. So it's gonna be MA lambda A d over lowercase d. So the distance that they will be overlap is 5, this is 480, and then this is, what was it again, 1.5 divided by 1.5 milli. Okay, so ini adalah the value. Let me just quickly calculate that. -3. So this one you will get 2.4 times 10 negative 3 meter. Okay, so this is the distance yang dorang overlap. Okay, so that is how you solve questions with overlap lah. Okay, alright, so that is on question C.